Hey guys, I'm going to do a comprehensive income statement. This is the concept review from chapter 5. It's on page 184 in the text. I like this problem because they provide the solution, so I know that I'm giving you the correct information. So let's just go through it. The problem says the Barrington Construction Company builds office buildings. It also owns and operates a chain of motels throughout the Northwest. On September the 30th, the company decided to sell the entire motel business for $40 million. The sale was completed on December 15th, 2018. Income statement information for 2018 is provided below for the two components of the company, and they provide the information here. In addition, in 2018, the company had pre-tax net unrealized holding gains on investment securities of $3 million and a positive foreign currency translation adjustment of $1 million. And they also provide when they ask us to do the problem, they provide this information: 100 million shares of common stock outstanding through 2018, and that information will be important when calculating earnings per share. So to solve the problem, we're gonna complete this comprehensive income statement. It's a multi-step income statement, and there are four main parts: continued operations, discontinued operations, other comprehensive income, and earnings per share. Now, the continued operations line is not actually on the face of the income statement. I just wrote it in here so I could contrast the continued operations section with the discontinued operations section. So you won't include it on your income statement, but it is good to put there for clarification. And the other important thing to note is that there is an income tax element to this problem, and they give this notation here, and I'll talk about that when we get there. So the first part is simply putting in the information that's given, and the first 7 lines are given. However, it is important to know the order, because on the test, I remember previously he gave us a lot of information, but it wasn't always in the correct order. So it is important to know the order so that way you don't get confused when you're completing a problem. So the first line is sales, revenue, operating expenses, operating income, other income, and this operating income should be operating income from okay, other income, and income before income taxes, income tax expense, and then net income. Okay, and we can just fill in those values: 450 million, 226 million, 224, 16, 240, 96, and then 144. Okay, now we move down to the discontinued operations, and here you just go straight for the loss from motel component. You just go straight down here to the loss. If it were a gain, you would write gain for motel component. So we'll just put that there. 40. Income tax benefit. Had we had a gain, I'll go ahead and put a negative in front of that to make it clear that it's a loss. Okay, had we had a gain, we would have another income tax expense. But since we lost money, we get to write it off on our taxes. So the income tax benefit is 16. And I believe that 16 is 40%. So let's just multiply that out to check. That equals 0.4, 40% times 40, and it's 16. Okay, and so this is total loss from and that equals this plus this. All right. Now the next part is comprehensive income. Oh, and I believe this is net income. And you get this. All right. Now the other comprehensive income is a little bit different, whereas this in the discontinued operations part had a specific line to calculate the tax benefit. In the discontinued operations, the income tax benefit is included in each of the line items. So you actually have to take the value and then calculate the tax and then write the value in here. So if it's a so we'll just do the first example to demonstrate. So we have other comprehensive income. It says, in addition, the company had a pre-tax net unrealized gain on investment securities of $3 million. So unrealized gain on net of tax. So we have to take the 3 million and multiply it times. If we're paying a 40% tax, that means we only get 60%. So we multiply times 0.6. Okay, and that gets us to 1.8 million. And then we also have a positive foreign currency translation adjustment of 1 million. So foreign currency net of tax, and that equals 1 times, once again, if we're paying 40% tax, we're only going to get 60%, so it's 0.6, and this is total other, actually it goes on this line, total other comprehensive income and this is comprehensive income. Okay. And now we have to calculate the earnings per share. To calculate the earnings per share, you simply take the net income and divide it by the number of shares. Then you take the loss from discontinued operations, divide it by the number of shares, and then you add those two numbers together. So that is continued operations, discontinued operations, and then finally net income is the bottom line for any income statement. So we have continued operations, we made 144 million. We have to divide that by the number of shares, and it says right here We have 100 million shares of common stock outstanding. And since this is given in millions, we can knock off the millions part and just divide by 100. So that 100 represents 100 million because all these numbers are written in millions. And that's 144. And we do the same thing here for discontinued operations. Now, discontinued operations, we lost 24 million. So we take 24 million, divide that by 100 million, and that's 24 cents per share. And the net income simply is the summation of those two numbers. And we made a net income of $1.20 for every share that's outstanding. Okay, and I've solved this problem but previously, so I want to compare it to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. So I'm just going to cut this here and move it down here so we can easily compare. And I also checked this against the solution in the book, so what's written here in this one is what's written in the solution. So we have the heading and continued operations, sales revenue 450, operating expenses 226, operating income from continued operation 24, other income 16. These are all given. Income from continued operations 1, and then income tax expense. I minused these, so there's no need for me to put that parentheses there. Discontinued operations, loss from operations of discontinued motel component, loss from motel component 40 there. Income tax benefit, that's correct. And then it says loss on discontinued operations, total loss from discontinued operations, more or less the same. The values are correct. And then other comprehensive income, unrealized gain on investment securities net of tax, unrealized gain on net securities net of tax 180. Same thing, foreign currency adjustment net of tax 60. That's correct. Other comprehensive income, correct. Comprehensive income. I'm just making sure I didn't label anything incorrectly because I don't want to get these out of order. Income from continued operations, and then this says continued operations, but I guess I can put income in there. And then discontinued operations 24, and we get a net income of $1.20 per share. So everything appears correct. Once again, just a little reminder, in class we did not do the other comprehensive income component, and we did not do the earnings per share component. However, I included them in this because it's in the book and it could pop up on the test. So just in case it does, you know what you're dealing with and how to calculate those values. So hope this helps, and good luck on your test.